us, they need us, they need us. We are the children.
Welcome to Film Talk, a weird entertainment production about filmmaking practices from FilmLab Nigeria. Connect on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and watch YouTube videos at www.filmlab.ng/filmtalk. The action movie genre is a box office attraction. No wonder its popularity in video games. This offers good streaming opportunities and sustained popularity among young people. It can also be easily developed into franchise. Perhaps our Film Talk guest today has already seen such big commercial prospects. He was born in Lagos, the heartbeat of Nigeria's arts, media, and entertainment industry, but moved with family to the federal capital, Abuja. He attended gifted secondary school. Maybe that's where he discovered his filmmaking gifts. Sulaiman Omotola Ogegbo calls himself Spotlyt. In his words, he would later meet the genesis of his entertainment career at the Federal University of Technology, Mina, Niger State capital. Incidentally, Spotlyt works for Wazobia FM in Plateau State. Well, welcome Sulaiman Omotola Ogegbo, a.k.a. Spotlyt the Castigator.
Yay!
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. First, let's watch the diminutive The Castigator episode 4 behind the scenes of your action series.
Okay.
And I was opportunity to be the first bad guy in The Castigator. Spotlyt called me and he said he wanted to do one fight scene that we should just try out and see how it's going to go. And I decided to join.
I'm about to kill you, motherfucker! No more teamwork. Remember, you can move around teamwork. Okay, please. This is perfect. Let's go.
I didn't really know what he was going to do, but I said we should try. So that was how we came up with the first Castigator, and it was wow. We got enough views and we got more than what we expected. So Spotlyt said we should continue doing it, that this might be the break we need.
Yeah, we are ready. Let's go.
I'm not inside. I want to flow too. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. You are here. Oh yeah. I want to follow Spotlyt.
We are good, we are good.
Oh yeah.
Hi, my name is Daisy and I'm the spirit guide in Castigator episode 4.
Kigboko oko. Kigboko ada. Alayo ló ń ṣe pẹ̀lú ara ọ̀run. Gbogbo ohun tí bá sọ.
Every spiral has a source where they get their power from. The Castigator's powers come from the spirit guide and some other places that we probably have not shown you just yet. And having to work with Spotlyt and having to be a part of the franchise as a whole. I remember very well when the shoot was supposed to take place, I couldn't shoot with the guys because it was so rigorous and everybody was like everywhere. So I had to shoot my own part separately. But to be honest, working with Spotlyt on this particular short movie is very, it's something that opens your eyes to other things that you can do as a person as well.
Are you ready with the camera?
Yeah.
You know you're supposed to move too. You move around. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
The Castigator started a couple of years ago. When the first episode dropped, I was so thrilled. It was an amazing thing, and I thought it was the end, but I came to realize that Castigator is really going far.
Go. My block off, yeah. Wait, it's okay.
I was so thrilled, and I was like, oh, I need to really be a part of this crew, a part of success. Actually, I made it up to myself that this is just a success, and I really want to be part of it.
Spotlyt, the castigator. How you achieve those things really baffle me. But congratulations. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever produced an action feature before, but what really led you into producing action? Is it escapism? Did you feel like the blood is pumping in your heart, so you must show it to us? Or was it a feeling of conquest, or whatever? What happened to you?
All
How
right,
did
my
inspiration
story is
come?
actually okay, my story is actually very interesting because I have never, ever done a movie before. I don't even have experience, so to say. I don't have any formal knowledge, like I didn't go to school to go and learn. I'm actually a civil engineer. Yeah, so I was into music for a very long time. So I wanted to, how do I put it now? Everyone is doing comedy, everyone is being funny on social media. It was really nice. So I wanted to do something very, very different. So I stumbled on a video on YouTube. These guys, they call themselves the slow motion guys. So what I did was I went back, I studied them, and I said, how can I do the same, but in a different way? What is it that thing that Nigerians love, but are not doing? So I now did some online study of my own. Yes, and I was now able to, just give it a try. So in fact, if you go back to my episode 1 and you watch episode 6, you will realize that there's a lot of improvement. So it's not something I've ever done. I've never, ever done it before. It was my first attempt. And people started showing me love, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do.
Congratulations again. What is your current dominant storytelling theme in the castigator? I know you are the castigator himself. What is pushing the castigator as a protagonist of the story? That means you have to explain the word. That means you have to understand the word castigator.
Yes. Okay. So now your question is actually very broad but I'll try as much as possible to see the easiest way that I can answer it.
Good.
Okay. Here's the thing. I wanted to create a superhero, but I didn't want it to be artificial. I wanted to create a superhero that it is not the guy that can fly like Superman. It's not the guy that can do this. It's not the guy that can do that. But he's just a local vigilante. The guy that sees where someone is robbing somebody on the roadside, and he will not let that happen. And he will walk up to that place and make sure that, he deals with the bad guy and saves the victim. That's what the castigator basically is all about. So,
Beautiful.
like I said, so when I started small, I realized that, this is a character that a lot of people can actually connect with. Do you understand? So I figured, you know what, why don't I just make it bigger? Why don't I just, and the whole thing started growing till I got to the 6th episode, basically. So he's the guy, he's your next door neighbor that can save you anytime you have, you are in trouble, basically.
Fantastic. So you said you wanted to make him a local guy with some peculiarity, with some ability, capacity, and you involved a spirit guide. What is the significance of the spirit guide in this production?
Well, now, here's the thing. I needed a way to tell a story that he's also human. He can die. He has powers, but he has not gotten to that peak yet. So we're still at that fresh part of the story. So for the spirit guide, basically is a way of showing that he's weak, but whenever they beat him and he falls into coma or something, he has a reason, or he has someone on the other side that brings him back, because his mission is not done yet. Do you understand? So that's the idea of the spirit guide. The spirit guide is someone that has been there for him even before they give birth to him. He's a great person, but he's not yet there. He's not there yet, basically.
In Yoruba, they call him, there's a word I found out on the internet that they call her Aye, that is fate, mother spirit.
Okay.
Destiny.
Yeah, mother spirit.
But
exactly.
That brings me to the question that how do you differentiate between the persona of the castigator and the Western persona of people like Spider-Man, Iron Man?
Good.
What's the
Good. That's a very good question. Now, before I say the difference, if I make the character of the castigator like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, he's flying up and down, he's shooting arrows, splash, splash, splash. Now, here's the thing. People will not be able to relate. We don't have action film yet in Nigeria. I want to introduce it because it's something that, like I said, I discovered myself doing. So the difference between him and the Spider-Man is he's human. Yes, he has extraordinary abilities. He has, then he's African. Do you get? He's not like he's from abroad or something. Then he's like the local vigilante that is on the street. Our normal local vigilantes that are on the street with the guns and their knives and all protecting the street. He's like that, trust me. He's just how do I explain it right now? He can't just be flying up and down like Spider-Man.
I understand.
He's the normal. He will run.
It's at our own level as a developing nation, as an African community, peculiar to who we are. So the audience would indeed connect with who he is.
That was the idea behind Castigator.
Beautiful,
he has to be relatable. You have to be able to connect with him.
Well, if you're watching us and talking to the castigator himself, he has been able to define himself. He said he's human, and again, he needs a spirit guide. Again, when he's flawed characters, which I'm going to ask him, which is my next question, when he is weak, at the point of weakness, in his weakest moment, faith, Aye, comes in to help him. So let me ask you the next question. Give us an insight into the character flaw of the castigator. Some castigators, some heroes, some protagonists, they like women, might be their minors or their character flaw. Some might like drinking, some might, but then there is the other way around, the opposite side of it. So then there's something the audience would really, really love about him. So between his flaws and his likable persona, can you compare and contrast?
Wow. Okay, you know what? His flaws first of all, I think his flaws is, when someone is too nice, like you put yourself before anyone else. So it's almost like, I'm not thinking about myself, I'm thinking about you. I'm all about the mission. I'm all about your safety. So that way, he's putting himself in danger. For me, I think that is weakness on his own, which is also strength in a way, but it's weakness because he has put too many people before him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So in other words,
you also asked.
Go on, sorry.
You also asked a question about comparing his weakness and something else. Please, can you remind me?
Let's call it the character plus, his capacities, his special abilities that the audience would identify with, that the audience would love him for.
Okay, now here's the thing. People are yet to discover what he can do. Even me, I don't know what he can do yet. But he has so many things. He has power. So I don't want to give everything out yet.
Okay.
But as the story unfolds, you get to know the castigator more. You get to know, in fact, you'll be very shocked where we are taking the story to. So I don't want to say too much about his strength.
Okay, let me put it to you the way I feel. I feel the castigator has the side of him that is a character flaw is also the reflection, the mirror opposite of why he's been like. I call him a security philanthropist. A security philanthropist. Let me call it so. Perhaps the audience would like him that way. So what other characters' motivation and purpose are going to really, really define your overall story goal? We have Aye, I call Aye, the spirit guide. We have the other guy who said he's a bad guy. But if you look at the overall story, the purpose of the overall story cause or idea, let me ask you this way. How would it reflect what we need as a community, as Nigerians, as a country? How does it reflect? How would this story help us perhaps begin to think of, have a sense of common security, inspiration or motivation?
All right, first of all, I think the mistake that I feel like a lot of people make is when they hear that someone is a superhero, they think the person should be able to do some extraordinary things that human beings have not seen before. But you don't have to be able to fly. You don't have to be able to bring out the spider web in your hand before you can be a superhero. Let me quickly share a story with you. A friend of mine traveled to Lagos for the first time. And when he got to Lagos, he said that someone, daylight, walked up to him and his mom with a knife. And people were passing on the side. And this person was saying, if you don't give us your phone, we are going to kill you.
Oh boy.
And people were walking on the side. And nobody came to his aid. Nobody came to save his mom. Nobody came to save him. And you know what he said? He said, I swear I would never go to Lagos again. Now imagine you say, you on the side say, I might not be able to face this guy on my own. Let me call like 5 other people. Please, 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 let's go and help this person. And they rush down and they're able to, save these 2 people from that person with a knife. That means you are a hero. And that is what we try to do with the castigator.
Beautiful.
And that's, you understand what I'm saying? Like anybody can be a superhero. You don't have to be able to fly. You don't have to be able to shoot spider web.
I really feel what you're saying because, I mean,
exactly.
A lot of times when people hear robbery in neighborhoods, they hardly want to make phone call. Whereas if you go to other cultures, if you go to other cultures, and people make calls when they hear, even when a husband is beating up a wife, they call the police. But in this country, somebody would probably commit a crime somewhere. Everybody will say, mind your own business. And in the long run, it comes back to haunt all of us. So I believe the castigator would castigate such people.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Now, to understand how Spotlyt achieve all that action sequences that we saw in the making of episode 4, let's watch the actual realization of episode 4. Please, let's play episode 4 and see the realization.
Make I go back small. My name now Spotlyt, and I be the last of my kind. My primary assignment not to protect. But for every life when I take, consequent days.
Kigboko ọkọ́, kigboko àdá, alààyè ló ń ṣe pẹ̀lú ará ọ̀run. Gbogbo ohun tí bá sọ, àrọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. Ọmọ ayé, gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde.
My name now Spotlyt, and now me be the castigator.
I been making no face. Now small delay. Everything has been taken care of now.
Alright guys, you know what we'll do? This deal is gonna be very fast. No delay, no wasting time.
No freaking way!
What's the problem?
This guy not didn't die!
Who be that guy?
That's the guy now, not the guy. That's the guy.
Run him down. Stay in the car. Osi, Osi, Ocha, Ocha. Nah, itagon shumperanko. Ta igang guy.
Ada. My name na Spotlyt, and I be the last of my kind. My primary assignment not to protect, but for every life when I take, consequence day.
The castigator himself, Spotlyt this castigator. That was very, very good. I begin to wonder how you achieve all those choreographed fight moves. But before we go on, does the castigator have a job to survive by while he's castigating in this story? Does he have a job? Is he a policeman? Is he a security guard somewhere? What is he before he becomes a castigator of people who endanger other people?
All right, like I said earlier, I said the story is unfolding.
Yeah.
There are other parts of his life that we're gradually getting to. In fact, this question you asked, our next episode, that is what is supposed to reveal. So I am afraid if I start saying, I might spill too much. So, but I think, you know what, let me just leave it for the fans to. That's actually a very funny question. So I'm thinking maybe I should leave it for the fans to, find out in the next episode, that Castigator episode 7.
Okay? But I call that the final showdown. But the most intriguing thing about the final showdown is that you die after killing people. And very interestingly, your spirit guide betrayed you. Why?
Well, my spirit guide only has powers when we are in the spirit realm.
Okay.
That's what makes it interesting. Like when I'm on earth, I have like limits to, like there's a limit to my powers. But when I go, say, into the next realm, that's when she can come through for me. She can guide me. She can tell me.
Hold on. That means there is always a transmutation from the physical to the spiritual.
Exactly.
Beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so my next question will be, how do you achieve all this?
Thank you. Let me quickly say that it's not easy, I can't lie, because I'm solely behind it. The boys that you see are my boys. Some of them are students, so some of them are in school. I have to bring them down back home. That means I have to transport them. When they come, I have to feed them. When they come, I have to find a place for them, you know? Then I think I'm the only one that works amongst all of us. I have to, you know, financially I have to be responsible for so many things. Then apart from that, the choreography, when I bring them home every weekend, what I do basically is I take them to, we have a place, someone, you know, one of like our major fans gave us a place where we can, you know, rehearse all the time. So yes, they give us a place. So I have to bring them home. We rehearse for maybe like a month plus. We already know what we want to do before we now go on set and now go and do it. So there's a lot of rehearsals that go on. Me, the boys, we just, you know, bring ideas together and we just do something. It's not always easy. I not be lie. I can't lie because there's a lot of injury, there's a lot of bone breaking and things, and people never know. But yes, it's part of what we. It's what we do. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's going to be some bone breaking and some injuries because somebody like Jackie Chan that acts all kind of funny things, you know. Sometimes I've had injuries and had to be hospitalized for some time. But then,
exactly.
Yeah, let's play episode 6 of The Castigator and see how that is. A long one, but we're going to just play it briefly.
Guy, I no wan fight you.
You don't already pick side when you follow Ada.
You think say na about that? Guy, we no go dey mess with our head. You no understand?
Don't be my business, come on.
Shit! Moon! Don't let me do this guy. Fight you.
Sulaiman Ogegbo, you see, I'm speechless. I don't know how to say it because I was captivated and mesmerized. I don't know how you do that all that together, but I'm going to have to, because we don't have enough time. But I'm going to have to wrap it up. I'm still talking to the man called Spotlyt, the castigator. His real name is Sulaiman Ogegbo. He's good. Yes. He's good. He's good. Thank you for all that. But that's like the episode 6 seems to me like another final showdown. So between the villain and the hero coming face to face in a hand-to-hand fight, how does your real impact, the final showdown like that, impact on you, the castigator? How does it drive the story goal? How do you do the editing yourself? Do you do composition yourself? Do you do all that thing yourself? Because I mean, man, it's real. So give it to us, please.
All right. There's so many things to it. First of all, one of the things I'm very grateful for is I feel like God has just given me like gift. in so many areas. It's not left for me to decide what I can do with it or what I want to do or the one I want to choose. First of all, the choreography is done by myself and my boys. That's one. Secondly, the editing is done by me. Third, the sound is also done by me. The directing is done by me. So it's my picture. It's a picture I have in my head. That it's a picture that my boys have in their head, and we're able to put. So it's easy because we are like, okay, why don't we try this? Why we don't try that? Why do we try this? And sometimes it's easy for us to just achieve those things because it's our thing. So now talking about the impact, well, truly, personally, it's very draining. I would love to bring up boys, train them, teach them the art, make them understand these things, so that I can go through less stress. Because let me quickly say something. Every time we're in front of camera, I'm in front of the camera. My cameraman, if he doesn't get it right, if we do it and we injure, we would have to do it again.
That's a lot.
So it's draining.
That's a lot.
It drains me. I can't lie. But I'm grateful for the reaction. The reaction encourages me.
Boy, you're good in what you're doing. I love it. I love it 100%.
Thanks, boss.
I love it. You're good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, it's good. So, between a fight scene and a chasing sequence, how do you break them down? Have you ever had a chase sequence where you go maybe on foot or maybe in a vehicle or on a bike? Have you had between these two actually achieving the fight and actually having it? Have you ever had a chase sequence down to the final showdown?
All right. Here's the thing with the chase scene. I think I've done a little bit of research on it, and personally, I would rather look for someone who's professional enough to be stunt double for whoever is going to play that scene. Because first of all, if you're not a stunt driver, like if you're not the guy that knows how, you don't want to make that mistake and go and look for someone who doesn't have experience in that area. I don't think I want to be in a situation where I will have to be responsible for someone's death or injury. So it will make a lot of sense to me to use people like that. That's why I have not done it yet. Then again, it's also expensive because what if something happens to the car? So for now, I don't want to like go into the car stunt or the chase scene. That one can be very if you don't
I know because in America or the UK they have stunt specialists. They actually hire kinesis professors, physics professors to come and tell them what to do before they ever attempt it. Because I mean, it's very dangerous. People have died because of stunts anyway.
Exactly.
I don't know what software you use to edit, but I know that Adobe After Effects are very common. And to achieve video effects like your slow motion, the blood spilling, the death, dust, blood, spark hits, muzzle flashes like from yoga, smoke, and all that. How do you achieve all that?
One of the first things is you have to trust your imagination. You also have to tell yourself that it is possible. Every time I tell my boys I want to do so thing, they always laugh at me like, boss. They see me as their elder brother. So they tell me, bros, you sure say we go feel achieve them. No, go do the one we go make people yab or so. That kind of thing. I'm telling them I've never done it before, but I promise you when we do it in the next episode, it's going to be really nice. So every time I do it, like the explosion, I've never done it before. That was my first attempt. The gunshot, I've never done it before. That was my first attempt. Then I also remember, now let me quickly tell you, the software that I use is Premiere Pro and After Effects. Those are the two. They are very user-friendly. They are very, I just feel like it's easy to use those two softwares. Then again, another thing people don't understand is you don't just go to post-production and start editing. Read about it. There are settings you need to do on camera first before you now go into Premiere Pro, before you now go into After Effects, before you now bring back to Premiere Pro. So there are like levels, there are like the stages to these things. You don't just say, oh, I saw it on TV, let me go and try it. It doesn't work that way. You have to read about it. You have to do your research. I think that's the only hint I'm just going to give now.
And I want to ask, do you ever do storyboarding when you're doing your sequences? I would recommend you do storyboarding. Sometimes.
Okay.
I would recommend you do storyboarding because if you hire an artist to do storyboarding for you, it will become easier for you to do your sequences instead of trying them, coming back to try and shoot and shoot. If you do storyboarding for like, if you have like a 29-minute sequence action, or if you do storyboarding, your cameraman will understand what you're doing. Your producer will understand, you're the director, you easily be able to choreograph. I know you're good at choreography, but storyboarding would also help you to, know exactly what to actualize at the end of the day, I want to say, okay, go on.
No, I mean, I agree with you.
Okay. I want to say, I want to tell you, I've seen children mess around online and they got picked up by Hollywood to go do things in Hollywood. I have seen people do comedy and banks sponsor them. And I don't know if you have sponsors, but I'm seeing a future for you. A future that is, I can't imagine how expansive, but I can see a future for you. You know why I also say I see a future for you? In the sense that you're not messing around with Western style action production. You have been able to germinate your action production in our own spirituality. That is very, very, very important for me. Because I always tell filmmakers, I always tell filmmakers, even when you're doing juju movie, I like using the word transmutation. Transmit your historical figures, your story, period stories, your style. It could be as old as before Jesus Christ. But brother, if you bring them to a modern setting, you make sense. That's what you've done. You took our superstition, if you want to say superstition, and planted it in a modern essence, and you got it right.
Thank you.
I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Thank you for coming on this program. I look forward to interviewing you again when you're doing your 13th episode. And more grace your elbow.
Thank you.
and on from FilmLab, I assure you when we start our academy tomorrow, by November, we'll find a way. Maybe you take leave and come to Lagos and get to do some bit of training, because we're liaising with all kinds of organizations all over the place. Then we're able to also contribute to your story. I love your choreography, I love your action, I love your motivation, I love your enthusiasm, I love your originality, I love everything about you.
Thank you.
Spotlyt.
Thank you
for coming. Thank you. I hope to have you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. All right. So that has been Sulaiman Ogegbo, a.k.a. Spotlyt the Castigator. You've been watching Film Talk. And like I said before, if you want to get more of what we're doing, go to www.filmlab.ng/filmtalk. Check out our blog, forum, and short video contest, and a whole lot. We're on Facebook and Instagram, even Twitter. Remember, our website is www.filmlab.ng. If you add /filmtalk, you watch Film Talk. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next edition.
They need us.